Hey groupies, welcome back to Form Therapy. I'm the video channel producer, and today we are checking out the Connect D music film from Monsta X. Now, we all know the rule on this channel. I don't do teasers, I don't do trailers. However, this is a music film. I hear that this is more of a video concept than it is an actual teaser or trailer, so that always strikes me. I did the one for Stray Kids, and I'll do the one for here as well. I recently got into Monsta X with the Shine Forever comeback, and then Dramarama was also good, but Dramarama was a little bit too poppy for me. I want to hear more of that dirty Monsta X sound, so I'm interested in this comeback heavily because what I hear is that it's going to be like an 80s hard-hitting R&B comeback, so I don't exactly know what that could possibly mean. So I am excited. But before we actually get started, I just want to say that this video is brought to you by our final merch sale. There is only 1 week left. Go ahead and check out this red velvet bad boy design or get the soft PD design. We are officially closing our store next Saturday, so get them now while you can. All right, go to teespring.com/stores/final sale. This is your last chance. That's it for that. Let's get into the reaction. This is your form of therapy. This is my boy. So, dirty underground area, university classroom, art studio. This looks more like a hacker den. Part 1 of the code.
엉킨 운명의 노예. 방황이라는 울타리
And
안에서
Defense of Wander, there's subs.
길을 잃었다.
There's a meme guy. I think his name is Hyungwon. Okay, interesting. There's this melody effect around the sides. Electric power connection. So they just shut down the power. Juhon and whoever the other guy was. It was Kyun and dude with abs. I don't know his name. Shonu painting a train. Probably a train that Hyungwon is on. So the stopwatch, Hyungwon from the Dramarama music video, I believe it's the same concept, but the needle's out of whack. It's spinning like crazy. The other dude that's not Shonu is trying the time thing. I forgot what it's called. It's got the sand in it. So we're dealing with time travel again. X equals blah blah blah. I assume those numbers are important. 4, 1, something. Oh my god, that's a really expensive watch. Part 2, Finding the Road. Okay, so I get the feeling that the members are all converging to find Hyungwon, perhaps? This is not Korea. Either they shot this not in Korea, or it's a fake set. Subway. Oh, I am was the other guy with Juan. Oh, that lighting. Gorgeous. Interesting. Shonu and I'm gonna call him blonde-haired dude. Have fears. Juhon too. Yo, this beat is fire. Oh yes. See, this is kind of like the Monsta X sound that I was missing. Oh man, it's the worst. 4155. I missed it. It's the same number on the subway car that Hyungwon's on. Part 3 connected. So I assume they're finally gonna cross paths. Yo, that's a Gucci watch. God damn, Shona.
우리의 끈은 이어져 있어.
150. That's what the clock said. The nerd in me has stuff to say about this. And they've all met up with meme guys. I mean, Hyungwon. That's not his name, and I'm just calling him the wrong name. I should just call him meme guy just to be safe.
Bring me down.
Interesting. The camera time code is moving. Alright kids, buckle up. I got theories. Now, before we actually get into theories, I'm going to touch briefly on the music. There's not really much to comment on here just because there wasn't much. But from what I've heard briefly, this sounds like the exact messy Monsta X music that I have grown to love. So I'm excited for this comeback. I doubt that this is the title track song. Usually for teasers like this, they usually use a song that's a B-side on the album. Whatever. Destroyer, fucking destroy me. I'm ready for this song. This music film. I'm glad you all suggested this to me. I really did appreciate it. Filmmaking wise, there's nothing really innovative about the cinematography or camera work or anything like that. Where this excels is in its writing and its setup. So it looks like they are continuing this storyline thread that they created in Dramarama, which I'm glad that they are. Deep-rooted storylines are a rarity in K-pop, and BTS hasn't done it in quite a while, and they were like quite the big champions behind really, really intense, deep storyline music videos that spans across multiple comebacks. And BTS hasn't done it in a while, and so there's been this void. The whole clan thing I felt like was a miss, but this one I feel like, especially when it comes to time travel, it's a lot more interesting. Now, I noticed several things. The one that's freshest in my memory right now is the time code. There's CCTV footage of the train station in random portions, and if you look at the time code, if you go back, the time code is always still. It's always still at 1:15. And when they jump into the train, into the portal, let's call it a portal, when they jump into the portal of the train, it's at 1:15. So what is this? It's called the code, finding the road, and connect, right? So I think this whole thing is about finding Hyungwon. It's about meeting up with Hyungwon. From what I gather, Hyungwon is perhaps not just a time traveler. He might be a being who can actually cross dimensions. When it comes to time travel, people don't just say time, they say time and space, right? And what that means is when you can manipulate space, you can manipulate the space between dimensions. Now, there are things here that I see that relates to time travel a lot that calls back to my many years of nerddom. We live in the third dimension, right? We are 3D. That's what we are. We are three-dimensional beings. When you watch a movie, they say, oh, that character is three-dimensional. Three-dimension is the dimension in which we are living. Two-dimensional is the flat, like whenever you watch an animation, flat 2D image, that's why it's called 2D. That's two-dimensional. I forget what one-dimensional is. But then the fourth dimension is the dimension of time. I forget what book talks about this, but there is a book that actually dives into the dimensionality of time travel. So the fourth dimension is time, but it's governed by almost a water-like substance. It's almost liquidy in its form. And to travel across time, the idea is that it's not just you snap your fingers and you can travel in time. The idea of time travel is that you also need a large metal object, I believe, to use as a vehicle that can pierce through the dimension of that water thing. But basically, you need a large metal object, a car, a plane, or in this case, a subway car, to pierce through time. So Hyungwon pierces through this dimension, this time, through this subway car. Now, I say that this is a different dimension because I think all the characters here are different from what we saw in Dramarama. They don't look like the same characters, right? So we might be dealing with parallel dimensions, and honestly, that's really cool because if we can have Hyungwon be the totem pole in which we can tell multiple different stories about time travel, that'd be really cool. So if we can tell the story that we told in Dramarama and then scrap that and just have Hyungwon be the totem pole we follow him into another dimension, and then we can tell a completely different story, and yet it all feels like one connected universe. So that would be really cool if we could just make this a constant concept for Monsta X, like a time traveling concept. That'd be really, really dope. Now, a couple other things I noticed. Obviously, the number is very important. 4115. I don't know what that is. It might be like their comeback date, their debut date, their 1 year anniversary, their however long they've been around anniversary, someone's birthday or whatever. It seems like an important date. I feel like it would relate to the group itself as well. That date, or those numbers seem to be very important. It's almost like the numbers are scattered across. They are clues to lead to where Hyungwon is. And everyone is divided into teams, which I really like. So Kihyun and, is it Wonho? Is that his name? I don't know. Dude with abs guy. That guy, those two are dealing with the math side of it. So the math science equations, basically the really difficult stuff. They're figuring out the math and sciences behind where Hyungwon is actually going to be, the location, all the clues, etc. We have Juhon and IM, who are the hackers, and as the hackers, what they're doing is, it seems to me, they seem to be taking power from the city, stealing power from the city to fuel their time travel endeavors. Time travel takes a lot of power in this case, so there are hackers doing that. Now, the interesting one is Shonu and blonde-haired dude. Shonu and blonde-haired dude, they were painting, and blonde-haired dude was painting the sand glass, the time glass type thing, and Shonu was painting a train. Now, the train he painted was not a train that was in the actual music video, but here's where my theory is. Now, the type of train that Shonu drew was like, you know, the old school Hogwarts type of train that Harry would ride to wherever the fuck land. And the reason why it looks so different from a subway car is, I think Shonu and blonde-haired guy are seers. Seers are basically people, prophets, who can see the future. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Everyone has a different job. They're all divided into separate teams. Why the fuck are Shonu and blonde-haired guy painters? I think they're offering additional clues from what they can glimpse into the future, because they have visions of the future. If you notice, there's a shot of like Shonu like having a headache. I think it's because he's having visions of the future, and that's why he saw the train. And again, future telling is not an exact science. It's basically magic, and you know, it is more interpretive. And so he might not even be seeing something. It might be more so a feeling. He might be feeling train. I gotta draw a train. And so he drew a train, and he drew it in the Hogwarts style, not the actual subway car style. So that might be why they're the painters. There was a shot of Juhon also sort of like flinching, but his was more sound-based, so I think my theory might still stand, or they're all seers, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I gather. I think this is all about connecting with Hyungwon. And if you notice, like I told you about the fourth dimensionality thing, it's all about liquid, it's all about this watery substance. And in the subway car, if you notice, as Hyungwon is traveling, these sides have this warbly warp effect, you know, this wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff. Like, that also feeds into this might be a dimensional or time breach. So yeah, all I got, but it seems pretty cool so far. I'm excited to see this music video. Anyways, guys, what did you think of the music film by Monsta X for the Connect? Are you excited for this next comeback? Let me know in the comments below. Also, like I said, this video is brought to you by our final Teespring merch sale. Everything ends. Red velvet sweater design, soft PD design. It's all gone at the end of the month. That's March 31st. Go ahead. It's over next week. Teespring.com/stores/final sale. Also, thank you to our monthly patrons. We could not do it without you guys. I'm going full-time on this channel now, so your support to me means so much to me. If you want to join the club, go to patreon.com/formatherapy. For as little as $2 a month, you get early access to videos. For a little bit more, you actually get Form of Therapy training cards. So go ahead and tune in for that. Also, if you can't help us out monetarily, that's completely fine. Why don't you just go ahead and click like down below? It helps us out a lot. Go ahead and click subscribe up here. Go ahead and get our merch down here and watch all our other videos over here.